And welcome back to another video on JustRP 3.0. So, since JustRP 3.0 released, obviously we released with a ton of new features from our 2.0 version going to 3.0. We released with a bunch of new civilian jobs as well as a ton of criminal activities such as Oxy running, different various ways to grow different drugs, bank robberies, store robberies, big bank robberies, and a ton more. And since JustRP 3.0 has released, which happened on the 8th of August 2021, of course, we've also added a ton of new features since then, thanks to our wonderful devs and staff on JustRP. And today we're going to be going over all of the additions we've currently added to JustRP 3.0 and giving a little bit about them. Now again, we're not going to be going over a ton of the criminal stuff since that stuff was kind of added in a little bit more secretively. Again, there are a ton of criminal activities on JustRP, but the majority of them are hidden, and I don't want to ruin that experience for new players, other players that haven't figured it out yet. So today we're just going to be going over some of the main additions that were publicized for JustRP 3.0 since its release, again around 4 months ago, and there's been quite a lot added. Again, I'm only going to be going over the major stuff. There was also other buildings that were added and small additions that I will not be mentioning in this video, but we're going to be going over all of the main features I thought were important enough to include in this video. So let's start off, and hopefully you guys enjoy the video. If you do, as always, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And again, let's go over what has been added the past 4 months on JustRP 3.0. So, about 4 days after the release of 3.0, we had our first major addition, which was re-adding Best Buds. We had this in 2.0 and had decided to add it back for 3.0, except this time with different mechanics for the workers that worked there. Again, super cool little dispensary we had in the city, definitely a lot of fun. And the next feature that was added, which was added on the 15th of August, would be an in-game report system to help with quick reports if you do need to get them done. And again, this could all be done through in-game, and then would of course make a ticket for you on Discord. Made it a lot more convenient if you did need to make a quick report for either a player or something else that was very important on the server at the time, and definitely, you know, made it a little bit easier for a player to have to make a report if they needed to make one very quick and easily. Then a couple days later, on the 21st, we added in a full new PDM with a fully reworked new menu. Now, this interior is new. I don't believe this was released at the time, but now of course we do have a new PDM interior as well. But the menu you see here was released again on the 15th of August. You're able to spawn cars from it pretty easily, get a little preview, do test drives, and of course the main feature, sell to the people you're trying to sell to. Also, any of the Christmas decorations you see in any of these clips are just added of course for the Christmas season and are not normally there. Then on the 22nd of August, we had added a full new banking rework along with a full new UI for all of our banking and ATM systems, so players could much more easily transfer, withdraw, and deposit from banks, and it also looked a lot cleaner and showed a history of your previous transactions. Then, going forward to the 25th, we had added a full new spawn select system, allowing you to easily choose between a bunch of locations and get a live preview of them before you spawned in. And then on the 29th of August, about 21 days after 3.0 had released, we actually had changed our player cap from 100 players up to 150 players able to be on the server at one time. We thought this would promote a lot more RP and a lot more diverse scenarios out there, as you're able to actually meet more people live on the server. And we also saw quite a boost of the amount of people on the server once we made this change, which was hopefully something we thought we would see, and again, thankfully we did. And then about 2 days after this, on the 31st of August, we had added a new news system, so Weasel News employees could actually create news and players could go and grab them from newsstands and see them in real time as they are changed. Definitely a cool addition as well. And with that, we had also added in 2 new maps for our laser tag minigame. Then, shortly after that, on the 6th of September, we had added cockatoos to the server, and we had also re-added the vanilla unicorn that we had in 2.0. Again, this new cockatoos like little night bar showed a lot of promise, and as the days went on, we saw that cockatoos was always filled up with a ton of people, always having some parties here and there, and was really nice to see on the server. It was a little bit more of a low-key club, and again had a really cool interior that a lot of players seem to enjoy. And about 6 days after we had added those nightclubs to the server, we had released a new peer-to-peer vehicle selling and added new contracts that were able to be sold at PDM. This allowed players to actually buy and sell vehicles peer-to-peer, and actually opened up some really cool RP with people going and starting used car lots, trading cars, selling them, and flipping them. Added a lot of really cool stuff to the server and was a very good addition. Then on the 14th of September, we added a new invoice system for specific whitelist roles to be able to bill players through their phone and not have to go over to ATMs to grab cash or anything like that. You were able to just basically send them an invoice on your phone and they were able to accept it through there, making it a lot easier for a lot of the whitelisted jobs that constantly made sales and had to deal with transactions. And soon after that, we also had quite a small update, adding a car radio that allowed players to be able to play copyright-free music within their vehicles and for the people inside their vehicles as well. Then going forward a couple more days, on the 22nd of September, we had a pretty major update that added in a new stress system and also made it so character statistics such as your current food and water saved on logout. There was also a pretty big thing with the HUD, as it had been completely redone and updated, and a new command that allowed you to actually customize your HUD and hide certain features at certain points if you do not want to see them. For instance, if you didn't want to see when your food was high or full, you can make that disappear, and then when it gets low again, it would reappear. Definitely cleaned up the whole UI and made it look a lot more clean. Then on the 26th, just a little bit later, we had a milestone of actually hitting 5,000 members for the JustRP Discord, and at the same day we also had released the Tunershop finally. At this Tunershop, you were able to actually buy imports, which are IRL cars for the first time on the server, and quite a lot more. We were able to customize them, and later on we added some ways for people to be able to get custom liveries, custom body kits, and a lot more. Then 4 days later, on the 30th of September, Yellowjack, which was a restaurant up north, we had noticed there had been certain groups RPing there and doing a lot for it, so that was created into a restaurant, as well as adding some mini games to it, such as arm wrestling and darts, which is again was a ton of fun. It was just something a little bit simple up there just to go have some fun with some friends, and was a cool script overall to add to the atmosphere of a little restaurant up north in the map. And then on the 7th of October, for the first major update of October, we had added in the Bobcat heist, which was a pretty advanced heist, and again a really cool one for criminals to actually be able to go and attempt, and you had a chance of getting some pretty cool stuff out of it. Honestly, we did a couple of these heists and they were a ton of fun, and again it was just a new heist for the server for criminals to be able to enjoy. And soon after that, on the 9th, we had added in the casino finally to the server, and it consisted of a couple different games, such as of course the Lucky Wheel, there was Blackjack, there was Roulette, there were slots you were able to play as well. And, you know, it was just a fun little community spot and was a great addition to the server overall. It allowed a place for both criminals and legals alike to go chill off, have some fun, lose some money, or, you know, potentially win some. Was definitely a nice addition for both a social spot on the server, as well as just a spot to go in your downtime, have a little bit of fun, maybe lose some money, maybe win some. Was definitely a lot of fun for everyone that decided to go out to the opening and, of course, have fun as the days coming after that. Although, of course, there were some players who lost all their money, but, you know, that's how a casino works. Then there really wasn't too many updates for the rest of the month of October, and that's because on the 29th and the following weekend, we had our Halloween event. I did make a full video on this called No Cure, if you do want to check that out. It is a 2-part series, and it was a super fun Halloween event, but that is where most of the dev time of October went to. And then on the 31st of October, the last day, we actually added in a new golf script, as well as foldable chairs that were a ton of fun. And of course the golf script was just something nice in players' downtime to go have some fun and relax. And then moving on to the month of November, we're going to skip up to the 20th. There were a few minor additions and mostly just a lot of bug fixes this month, so there weren't a ton of kind of content added. But on the 20th of November, there was a full new apartment system with a ton of new features, a new interior, and a pretty nice looking one at that. Definitely needed a new apartment system, and I'm glad we got the one we did. I know there are more updates coming for it, so be sure to look out for those as well. But again, full new apartment system, and it looked amazing, and there was of course a lot of different features that came with that as well. Then about 4 days later, on the 24th, there was a full new MDW added and dispatch for the both police and EMS job roles that allowed them to do all their job a lot easier, and it was a lot more organized and polished than the previous MDW system that we had on the server. Now moving on to the 1st of December are our two last updates we're going to be talking about in this video. Again, another one of those updates was all the Christmas decorations around town, and of course those are festive and fun, but it's not something that I was trying to show off in this video. So first of all, there was a new /crosshair menu where you could select from a different variety of different crosshairs, because the one we previously had on the server was, you know, I would say not the best. It was not very visible, and now there are a couple different ones, so if a player doesn't like a certain crosshair, they can try out something different and use that instead. So there's a whole new crosshair menu added to the server, as well as of course being able to change your crosshair a lot more easily. And the final update we're going to be talking about in this video is quite a small one though, and that is that we changed it so when you are a trucker, you're actually able to choose where to deliver to. This will create a lot of RP with certain businesses hiring truckers to solely work for them, maybe pay them a little bit more, and you know, we'll see how it goes, but we believe this will actually add a pretty decent amount of RP opportunity to the server and the trucking job as a whole. And that is going to be the majority of this video. Next, we're going to talk about some upcoming stuff that is not released yet. Again, none of this stuff has a release date currently in place, but again, it is being worked on, and these are some features you can look forward to in the future. Also, keep in mind that when making this video, I did leave out a decent amount of additions, bug changes, as well as balancing and fixing changes, as I thought they wouldn't be super entertaining for me to list off a bunch of stuff that was fixed or just slightly changed here and there. But there were a ton of updates throughout the last 4 months, and these were the most prominent ones I wanted to show off. Also, I'm of course not showing off a lot of the criminal updates, which again, there were a decent amount of them, because I don't want people to metagame or have it spoiled for other players that have not yet figured it out, because the majority of the criminal features on JustRP are of course hidden and, you know, not easily accessible by many people. But in the future, of course, you have a lot to look forward to. I believe we've had a new phone on the works for quite a while that will come with a ton of new features and a ton of features to the jobs as well coming with that. I believe a lot of the jobs are eventually going to be changed to allow you to do them as a group. Again, none of the stuff has a release date, but it is definitely in the works at the moment. Another big thing that I believe is coming quite soon is a full new prison rework and update, as the prison currently is not in its best state. There's not much to do. There's a decent, you know, some bugs here and there with it. And overall, you know, it's not a super entertaining thing to be in prison on JustRP, so we are working to change that, and I believe there is going to be a big prison update coming in the very soon future, so definitely be sure to look out for that. There is also a huge amount of stuff that I obviously can't talk about yet, but I am very excited for, and of course we will see over the future what it looks like. I know one of the big things I'm excited for is hopefully car boosting when that gets into the server in the future. That's something I've been waiting for a while, and I know a lot of you have as well, so be sure to look out for that, as well as some other really cool updates coming in the near future. But I think again that is going to be about it for this video. If you guys did enjoy and you learned a little bit more about what's been going on JustRP for the past couple months, at least feature and update wise, I hope it showed you some of that and gave you some info. So again, make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy that, and subscribe if you do want to see more, and I will see you in the next video.